Hey everyone, have you ever wondered why we almost never see children in Disney princess stories? It's a curiosity many share, as these princesses are icons across generations, always caught up in thrilling adventures and epic romances. Yet they seldom progress to motherhood. Today, we're diving into this mystery. Let's explore some reasons why Disney chooses to leave motherhood out of the main plot for these beloved characters. Ready? Let's find out together. Since debuting with Snow White in 1937, Disney has evolved how its princesses are portrayed, although the depiction of motherhood has remained surprisingly absent over the years. Each new princess, from the classic Cinderella to the brave Moana, brings a story that, while rich in adventure and self-discovery, rarely touches on the theme of family life after the traditional happily ever after. This consistency suggests a deliberate choice that goes beyond mere creative preferences. Exploring the origins of these stories, many are adaptations of folk tales and fables where the central themes are challenges, personal transformations, and the quest for love and acceptance. The decision to exclude motherhood from these narratives can be partly attributed to a desire to keep the focus on these universal themes, which promise a more direct and instant connection with the young audience. Additionally, motherhood, with its complexities and challenges, could introduce nuances that would shift these stories away from their magical and timeless appeal. In marketing terms, Disney has very clear strategies to maintain its princesses as icons of certain virtues, such as courage, kindness, and determination. Introducing children into the stories could drastically alter the image of a princess from a figure of identification for the young to a parental figure, potentially complicating the relationship the younger audience has with these characters. Disney, therefore, may have opted to keep its stories simple and its heroines perpetually young and free of family responsibilities to preserve their accessibility and charm. Moreover, Disney's strategic decisions also reflect careful consideration of how including motherhood could affect the longevity and cultural relevance of the princesses. Keeping the stories focused on themes of self-discovery and personal adventures allows these characters to be refreshed with each new generation, maintaining their relevance and appeal without being tied to a chronological evolution that would include motherhood. These strategic choices not only shape how the stories are told, but also how they are received and internalized by the audience. By keeping the princesses eternally young and focused on their own journeys, Disney perpetuates a successful formula that has enchanted audiences for nearly a century, even if it means sidelining significant aspects of women's lives. The absence of motherhood in Disney princess stories is not just a creative or marketing decision, but also reflects cultural and social values intrinsic to the target audience of these narratives. Traditionally, stories aimed at children focus on adventure, magic, and personal discoveries, themes that resonate deeply with children's imagination. Introducing motherhood could add a layer of complexity that might not be as appealing to children, who are the main audience for Disney princesses. This choice also speaks volumes about societal expectations concerning women's roles. Historically, women have been portrayed in maternal roles in media, but Disney has chosen to highlight other aspects of women's lives, such as courage, independence, and self-discovery. This approach can be seen as both progress and an omission, depending on the perspective. On one hand, it values individuality and personal achievements of women. On the other, it may seem to deny or minimize the importance of motherhood. In the broader context of female representation in media, the lack of motherhood in princess stories can be interpreted as a missed opportunity to explore the complexity of the female experience. By avoiding the depiction of female characters as mothers, the stories may inadvertently sustain the notion that adventure and personal fulfillment are incompatible with motherhood. This message can reinforce limiting stereotypes about what it means to be a fulfilled and happy woman. Moreover, Disney, as a cultural shaper, has the ability to influence its young audience's perceptions of gender and social roles. By choosing not to present their princesses as mothers, Disney may be missing an opportunity to normalize motherhood as a valuable and enriching part of women's lives. On the other hand, this choice allows the stories to remain focused on the individual journeys of the characters, perhaps providing role models that challenge the traditional woman's path that inevitably leads to motherhood. This complexity reflects a tension field between traditional expectations and modern aspirations. As society continues to debate and evolve in its views on gender roles, Disney princess stories offer a mirror of social changes and, at the same time, a field for future discussions on how motherhood and female identity are portrayed for new generations. Ariel, the protagonist of The Little Mermaid, is the only Disney princess portrayed as a mother in a sequel. In The Little Mermaid 2, Return to the Sea, we are introduced to Melody, Ariel's daughter, marking a significant departure from traditional princess narratives. This film provides a unique opportunity to explore how the inclusion of motherhood affects the structure and reception of a story within the Disney universe, considering that no other princess had been shown in this role until then. The Little Mermaid 2 was met with mixed reactions from both critics and audiences, contrasting sharply with the universal acclaim of the original film. The introduction of motherhood themes and the subsequent challenges faced by Ariel as a mother did not capture the same magic and charm that characterized Ariel's first adventure. This raises questions about the audience's willingness to accept a Disney princess in a maternal role, especially in a context that still values princesses primarily for their youthful qualities and romantic adventures. The lukewarm reception of the film may have served as a caution to Disney about the risks of integrating motherhood into the main stories of its princesses. This suggests that audiences might prefer to maintain the idealized image of princesses, free from complex family responsibilities. The decision not to explore motherhood in other princess stories may have been influenced by this reaction, indicating a preference for narratives that focus on individualism and personal achievements of the characters. On the other hand, Ariel's experience as a mother also opens up discussions about missed opportunities to explore deeper and more relatable narratives. Although the film did not meet expectations in terms of popularity, it introduced a dimension of realism and relevance to Ariel's character, which could have been further explored. Motherhood, with its joys and challenges, could offer a rich layer of character development that would resonate with part of the audience, especially older viewers who grew up with the original princesses. Concluding, the case of Return to the Sea serves as an intriguing study on the limits and possibilities within the Disney princess universe. While the attempt to integrate motherhood faced challenges in terms of audience reception, it also highlights a possible direction for future narratives wishing to address more mature and complex themes. As we conclude our exploration of the absence of motherhood in Disney princess stories, it's important to consider how these narratives might evolve in the future. Sociocultural changes and increasing expectations for more diverse and realistic representation of women signal that we may be on the verge of seeing new stories that include aspects of motherhood. These changes could enrich the Disney universe, offering new layers of depth and emotional resonance, reflecting the real experiences of its audience. Disney has, over the years, adjusted its narratives to more closely align with contemporary notions of female empowerment and independence. However, integrating motherhood into princess stories could be seen not just as an evolution, but also as a challenge to the traditional narrative that has been so successful. This would require a delicate balance between maintaining the characteristic charm of the stories and introducing real-life elements that are equally important. The future of Disney princesses may well include stories that address motherhood in a meaningful way, offering both young and adult audiences a more complete view of the many facets of women's lives. This would not only expand the narrative horizons, but also promote a broader and more inclusive understanding of what it means to be a woman, beyond adventures and romances. These stories could serve as valuable starting points for conversations between parents and children about the realities of life, including the joy and challenges of motherhood. By continuing the tradition of telling magical stories, Disney has the opportunity to shape the perceptions of future generations, not only about heroism and adventure, but also about everyday reality and life choices. As Disney princesses evolve, they may become even more relevant and beloved, reflecting not just the dreams, but also the realities of the audiences that grow up admiring these iconic characters. And so, we've explored the intriguing absence of motherhood in Disney princess stories and the possible changes we might expect in the future. Narratives evolve, and with them, the characters we so dearly love, promising new stories that reflect not just dreams, but also the realities of their audiences. If you enjoyed this analysis and want to continue discovering more about the magical universe of Disney, help our channel grow by leaving your like. It really makes a difference. And if you have something to share or a different perspective, don't hesitate to leave your comment below. We love hearing what you think, and your interaction enriches our discussions. Don't forget also to activate the notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. We're always bringing new content for you to explore and enjoy. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.